He did a bad Winky Man, Andrew.
Yeah, I don't remember all the details, but he did do.
He basically did the thing where he kept like being like, "Oh, come on, can you please suck my Winky?"
Please.
Yeah, there might have been. It might have been.
Doing that.
It might have been a little bit worse than that. There was one incident where I was like, yeah, you really shouldn't have done that. For what it's worth, and people, I'm not asking other people to accept this, but to me, I think it's acceptable. After this all came out, he stopped drinking and went to rehab for like at least a year for a long time, and has owned up to everything he did, and said that it had to do with that he was drinking too much, and he was, I think he considers himself an alcoholic. I don't know, but I'll say this, like, I'm not saying that's an excuse, but I do think I've seen people try to say like, oh, well, with regards to sexual misconduct, and there's different degrees to which of that, but like to a certain degree, it's like I've heard people say like, oh, well, if you did that when you were blackout drunk, that means you would have done it when you're sober. It's like, no, dude, that's not how alcohol fucking works. Like, especially when you have a drinking problem, like it'll fundamentally change you.
Yeah,
like that's a fucking problem.
It destroys your brain.
I like how nobody knows how anything works. Oh, I mean, that's the same. That's practically the same thing.
It's like this is the fucking thing we said about Kanye West, where people are like, there's no possible way that having a manic episode could make you say bigoted things.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
again,
there's motherfuckers who put cheese graters to their fucking dick when they're manic. Like, people do all kinds of fucking shit when they're manic.
There's a guy that in Fort Wayne that like cut his dick off and lit it on fire and used it to start a fire
because he was crashing out.
I have no idea.
That's what these people think you should do if there's allegations against you. That's the only way to make up for it. You have to do what that guy did. Chop your dick off and set it on fire.
Yeah,
in Indiana. In Fort Wayne, Indiana.
And be from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
I will say, this is kind of recently the
home of the infamous sex trafficking operation.
Yeah, the Bug
House. The Bug House.
The Graham Plattner stuff is frustrating because
go fucking figure.
I mean,
who'd have thunk?
Well, at the end of the day, here's my ultimate take is that like, well, you know what? I don't live in Maine, so like, I guess whatever. And I guess ultimately it's for some people, the only conclusion that I guess some people who are definitely arguing in good faith the only conclusion is you should never be involved in politics and not care about anything because who cares? Because everyone's bad. That's what I'm saying for those that don't know. Graham Plattner running for Senate in Maine, a lot of red flags that I think in a better world in which more people ran for office,
sure,
would have immediately been like, all right, hey, buddy, too many red flags.
So many red flags. I was supporting him just because I was like, this is a man who is going to do a workplace shooting someday. So if he's working on Capitol Hill, that's kind of the ideal scenario, actually.
Oh, that would be a great place to do that at.
For me, the thing that crosses the line with him before the rape allegation that just came out is like, okay, him being a troop, even one who signed up after 9/11, I could live with. Being a mercenary for Blackwater after that is like, I don't know if I could vote for someone who was I'm going to say the word again because it's the correct word and people should think about it, mercenary.
Yeah.
Also known as a death dealer. Like, I don't know. I would hope you could find another guy. Maine voters seem really weird, though. Maine's a weird place. It's a strange place. People there are annoying.
I think the thing with him is that, like, in the world where in a postmodern world, but in this current day and age, when you hear mercenary, that could also just be literally anyone that goes to signed up for military. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
When people are trying to cast aspersions on someone,
yeah, sure.
Or, call them something. And I think people unfortunately call people Nazis maybe a little bit too much.
A little bit too much.
Quick to jump the gun on that.
I think
certain people do it way too much, and I'm going to kill them.
A guy that voted for Donald Trump isn't a Nazi. I mean, they're just a stupid American.
A Nazi? No. A retard? Oh, yeah, most definitely, yes.
But if you work for Blackwater, you are a mercenary. And let me clarify for people who are confused. The reason private military contractors like Blackwater exist primarily is because mercenaries are not subject to the Geneva Convention. So if you are a government and you need guys to do fucking dirty shit, and you don't want to get in trouble because you had your beloved troops do it, you hire those guys to do it.
So I think ultimately with his whole situation is I think with Gaza, with Israel as a whole, with a lot of shit, with Donald Trump getting reelected, I think people had a fervor for him, not necessarily because of the bad stuff, but because it was just like, listen, I don't know what the fuck else, man. Like, are we going to have another AIPAC fucking Democrat, like, stooge?
He didn't talk like a normal politician. He talked like a regular guy, kind of. Now, I think that was phony to some degree.
Maybe. Who knows?
I do think he's like an actual mentally fucked moron.
Oh, I mean, he's obviously a narcissist because
he's lying about all of this.
I think the average person with all this baggage, I mean, people without even a lot of baggage who probably would be good in like civil service go, I don't know, man. I don't really want people to see the skeletons in my closet. I.e., like maybe I, talk to a girl on a work meeting and I'm married or something. You know what I mean? It's something like that. Let alone this guy who has, done a lot of really bad stuff. And him being like, it's a good idea for me to win.
He also didn't say that he regretted his service or his time in Blackwater. No. He only said good things about it.
So I think ultimately people were like, obviously people raised on the left, raised red flags, but ultimately it was just like, hey, man, you got mad at us because, like, some of you got fucking mad at us because Donald Trump fucking won. And guess what? Gaza's still being blown up because, of course, it was because, who else? I mean, regardless, Kamala Biden, Trump, the end result would be very similar no matter what. And we're just trying to do something. We're trying to get somewhere fucking closer.
He got those Mainers fired up, though. They liked him. Like I said, his working class, that is a fake thing, but it worked. And, it's funny. People there, they seem like the voters there are very, like, I vote for the man, not for the party. I'm trying to judge the character. I want to see if somebody I could talk to. It's like, shut the man. Come on.
I think what needs to happen, thinking about it more, if more people simply tried to run for office, he would have been disqualified pretty much almost immediately. Yeah. So, hey, if you're left wing in any sort of capacity, hey, maybe think about it.
You weren't in Blackwater. You didn't get a Totenkopf tattoo in Croatia.
The bar. Hey guys, the bar is so low, but it's also just so easy to get over no matter what. Don't do those things, or maybe at the very least cover your Totenkopf up and say sooner, like, hey, you know what? I regret doing all of that. You could just say that, even if it was a lie. He couldn't even, like, that's kind of crazy that presidents lie about, people in politics lie about all that shit. And the fact that he couldn't even be like, hey, maybe I should lie about how I didn't like being in Blackwater, just to look better for the average person that knows anything about this. It is kind of like, maybe he was a bad idea.
Anyway, but here we are.
We're here, dude.
This is King of Punk.
Kings of Punk.
We're in this motherfucker.
Podcast. So, again, people don't want us to get political, but guess what? Punk rock is politics.
Yeah, it's part of it. That's part of the picture. That and fashion and music and everything we're going to talk about.
Oh, I love how it's all
like
AI now.
Guy. What the fuck?
No.
Oh, maybe it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, it is all AI now.
Dude, yeah. We're looking at the Kings of Punk podcast. We're looking at one of our favorite YouTube channels called Black Balloon.
I haven't watched him in a while.
I haven't either. And look at it. It's all fucking AI now.
He's a black conspiracy theorist on YouTube. He's awesome.
The thumbnails are all AI. I mean, he probably uses them for videos too. Because remember what his videos were like before, where it's a slideshow that didn't really have anything to it.
You got a video. Yeah. Well,
it sounded like he was always making his videos on break at work, and he couldn't edit them for some reason.
He'd be like,
all the things that this is bad, this is bad, this is very bad, this is very bad.
Thumbnail says this is bad.
These guys are reading thumbnails. I can't see the thumbnails they're reading, but they're there.
Time is up.
This is bad, but it's Michael Jackson, so
This is bad. This is
bad.
bad. This is
Yeah,
bad.
this is the
He's a
album
psycho.
Bad by
This is
Michael
bad.
Jackson.
This is bad. Dude, I love how it says
So-
this is bad.
Podcast about punk by punks for everyone, where we discuss the various topics that punk touches, and the subcultures and cultures it has influence over the years. Obviously, as we say, punk is politics in a certain way. Some people think it's simply politics.
Yeah. Oh, that's why we talked about Graham Platter. I remember now. It's because the Dropkick Murphys brought him out on stage at some point.
Did they really?
Yeah, of course
Oh,
they did.
Wow, that's
Of course they
bad
did.
look on them.
Yeah,
Dude, I
mean,
listened to some of their split with Haywire. I listened to some of the Haywire songs.
they did a split with Haywire.
Yeah,
I
they
didn't
did
know
like
that.
a split collab. It's kind of like
Oh,
they have
shit.
some
Yeah,
Dropkick Murphy songs, some Haywire songs, some songs with both of them. Haywire blowing up a lot. Someone mentioned on Twitter said that they were an org. They're like part of the orgcore renaissance.
what is orgcore?
You know what orgcore is? Dillinger 4 kind
It's
of
like-
stuff.
Oh, I know that
It's
stuff.
like
yeah.
it's like old guys with beards,
Like
and
hot
flannel
water music,
shirts.
kind of,
Yeah, I think that.
or like
Yeah.
off. Oh, the one
Melodic-
I used to like off with their heads.
It's like I would describe it as like melodic, almost pop punk, but with like
kinda-
rough vocals.
That's what Leatherface sounds like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Leatherface would be a good example.
I
too.
love that band. I'm down with orgcore. I'm not like a huge fan, but I can hang with it for sure.
Orgcore revival, guys.
That is kind of what
coming
Haywire
back.
sounds
And
like.
I was
actually, yeah.
someone's like, "Is Orgcore like is Haywire Orgcore?" And it's like, dude, I was like, huh? It's been a while. Are they? And I listened to one of the songs. I was like, dude, holy shit, yes. Like I think their Haywire like touches on a little bit more hardcore, but it's just updated for 2026.
Out of all the things that people are into lately, I'm okay with orgcore revival. I could live with that. That I could live with.
So politics,
I gotta
Graham Plattner. We got to stop looking at Black Balloon. There's
This-
another channel called More Black Balloon.
It's
Great.
just his other channel.
Great. He needs another one.
Wait,
I
with
guess.
more subscribers than his main one?
He
Somehow?
must hit on some more interesting stuff. But we're here to talk about various things that kept in punk rock. As you may know, I'm Tyler Hammer. Both across from me today.
Well, I'm Gary U.S. Bombs, and to my right,
Jake Razor, hello.
And
How are you?
whoever
Hi.
you're voting for in the Senate,
don't.
I just hope you make I'll say this. There's a lot of great choices.
What happened? What happened to when people didn't tell they didn't kiss and tell about who they were voting?
Dude, I
Can
kind
we
of
please go back to that?
I kind of would like to go
please?
back to that. I hope Abdul El Sayed wins
That'll be cool. Yeah,
He's great.
He should win.
in Michigan. But you know what? We live in New York, and we're New York rockers.
I gotta say, after 3 days in Ohio on tour, I've never felt more like a New Yorker. To be honest, no
That's
disrespect.
true. We our
people.
band Leaking Head
But-
played in Ohio. We did some dates. It was fun.
It was fun. But when I came back, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm a New Yorker. Not New York City. If I'm anything other than a New Yorker, I'm a fucking Canadian. That's
Yeah,
about
we're
it
close
for me.
to that.
We
Yeah.
played. Me and Gary played in Sherbrooke on the 4th of July.
Oh yeah, how was
Quebec.
that, dude?
It was fun. I mean, it was
In
cool.
Quebec.
I drank a bunch for free.
That's
so,
cool.
They had these good Vietnam shots. Those were good.
Yeah,
It's a Vietnam shot.
So it was like
It's vodka, this liquor called Soho. I don't know, like it was gin.
It's
or
like
something?
it's like a lychee
Interesting. Okay,
base kind of like flavored.
I'm
liquor.
iffy on the lychee, but if you mix, depending on what
It was-
else is in
those
the
two
mix,
things,
yeah.
lemon juice and then a little dash of Tabasco sauce in it.
Okay, so Tabasco and lychee sounds good.
It
I
was-
could
it
do
was
the lychee
good.
with some Tabasco.
It kind of
for
like
sure.
burned a little bit.
It had
was
a
a little
good-
sour.
Good little kick to it.
Good stuff. Bunch of good shows. The Canton show we played in Ohio was one of the most
Fascinating.
bizarre shows I've played in a while.
Fascinating.
I wouldn't quite call it a disaster, but it was definitely.
It would have been like an absolutely top-notch experience if Tinnitus stopped playing after the 15th time that they dropped their instruments or accidentally unplugged them and had
Yeah.
to stop.
Yes,
Are we still at war with that band?
of course. I mean, I
Oh,
haven't
yeah, no,
declared it,
definitely.
but we know we're declaring it on the podcast now. Yeah, this band, one of the so we were going to do 3
Not
shows.
even local though.
We were going to do 3 shows with our friends Ugly and Damaged from Cleveland, and then
Shout out to Matt Guy.
Matt Guy,
Matt fella.
and then somehow Matt Guy messed up the miscommunicated
somebody-
some stuff, or someone misunderstood.
Somebody didn't know to take off work or something.
So they had to drop off. We did Canton, Cincinnati,
Then
Cleveland.
what, like fist
fuck dropped or
No,
whatever
it's
that
called
band was.
Free Fight.
Free Fist.
Oh, Free
Fist.
Fight makes more sense.
Just to be clear, we don't know what that is, but it was supposed to play in Canton.
So
I think
this
we're from
band-
there.
Yeah, this band Free Fist was gonna play. They dropped. So it was basically then it was down to 2 bands, and the promoter found this band called Tinnitus from Cleveland, and it was the first band played called Solace, and they were a bad metal band, but it was like this is cool because they all look like they're under 18 years old or like 19.
They didn't
also-
play an excessively long set.
No, not too bad. They started earlier than normal too, so that was
They
kind of
did
cool.
well, thank God they did. Thank
Yeah.
God they started earlier. Because if they
fuck's
did,
sake.
my God. They did a cool, they did a cover of Territory by Sepultura. That was cool.
That was cool. And I was like, oh,
It's good to see. Yeah.
It's like this band is bad, but like, okay.
It's like they all
say that band was bad.
two of the 4 members were wearing Avenged Sevenfold.
That band was.
I think that says
band was bad,
all.
but they were at least 5 times less bad than what I was expecting. Because I was,
Yeah.
I was expecting something closer to what the bands after them did.
Yeah.
And the bass player for Solace wore a mask for some reason because he was probably a little shy.
Yeah,
I
maybe,
get it.
Yeah, I get it.
But then this
that's
band
fine.
Tinnitus played, and they had to borrow literally everything. Dude, I swear we saw them walk down the street towards us,
Yeah.
and they were carrying, I think, their instruments, which is like bad sign. Like I was like, are these lot kids? Are these? It makes sense. Oh, these are kids in the neighborhood or from Canton.
Oh, no, they're
No.
from an hour away somehow.
Somehow, and the bass player had an acoustic bass that he plugged in, one of those things.
Yeah.
Yes, but he ended up using, I think, at least one other, maybe 2 other basses as
I
the set
think.
went on. This band, I don't know how, but in addition to taking forever to set up, their stuff would break in some way.
Well, I mean, I swear half of the time the guitar wasn't even turned on.
Well, yeah, so I was actually watching them somewhat closely to try and figure this out, and it looked like what kept happening is they'd be playing, and virtually every song, probably 90% of the songs they would play, they would either accidentally unplug their instruments or drop them, and subsequently they would either have to stop to plug things back in, or just something would then be broken and they would have to use a different instrument.
Well, the guitar amp was not working for some reason, and
Yeah.
I wish you had just been like, "Hey, just use mine." We
I
should have done.
that. I didn't even think of that.
We
but yeah.
should have stepped in almost immediately as pretty much, I would say, the adults, the professionals in the room, in the garage, and been like, hey, just use our stuff.
You know what maybe it was is like every time they had one of these problems, I was like, well, this has to be the last time something this
yeah, of
stupid
course.
happens.
Something dumber can't happen.
No, absolutely not.
And it sounded,
Why wouldn't it?
the drummer sounded like he had literally just started yesterday.
Loved it. Some of the best drum fills I've ever heard.
If we have time, I might try to pull audio from some of the videos I had of them because people should hear them doing Sonic Reducer. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, they did a cover of Subliminal by Suicidal Tendencies. I didn't even realize it.
And Franco Un-American by NoFX. Those are the 3 covers they did.
Unfucking believable,
but
man.
they took 2 hours.
Basically 2 hours.
I swear it was 2 hours, man, honestly.
Yeah,
It
'cause
was.
like
I mean, it's straight
dude,
up
it was
was.
like, or maybe
What the
maybe not
fuck?
2 hours, but an hour and a half.
No, it's probably an hour and a half, but still, over
It
an
was
hour
like
for sure.
8:20 when like the
It
first
took 'em-
band got done.
It took them
Maybe not
probably
even.
like 40 minutes to set up. Like it felt like.
Dude, it took them like 45 minutes to set up,
Yeah.
and then it took 45 minutes for them to play.
At least 45 minutes.
with all the
play.
delays in between songs and shit.
And then we set up. We're
I just
professionals.
want to say, how do you not give up at that point? After that many times of dropping your instruments and then breaking, or getting unplugged and having to switch to a different bass, I think switching to a different guitar, how do you not just say, fuck it, we already played 6 songs, we're done?
Dude, it's
well, they were probably on some like, well, we drove an hour here. We got to make sure to give everybody a good show.
Yeah, got to give them a good, because I'm not going to lie, the first third of them playing, I was in heaven because it was so funny. But, goddamn, yeah.
And then we set up. Consummate professionals we are.
Very quickly, we got to it.
That was maybe the quickest I've ever set up my gear.
Get to ripping. I completely forgot my entire pedal board.
What a. What, 2 songs in, I think?
Two or three songs in, we have the footage of it, and
We do have video footage, yeah.
the bassist comes up to me and goes, "Hey, can I get on stage?" And I'm like,
You say it
"Why?"
to the mic.
I was like, "Why? What's up?" He's like, "I left something on stage, up there," and I was like,
Okay.
"You think this is the best time
To
for
do
you
it?
to do
Oh,
this?"
well, yeah, because then you were like, are you, like, leaving or something?
And I was like, "Are you leaving?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay, sure. I mean, what is it?"
Oh, just some garbage, like some broken strings.
He literally said, "I want to get my broken bass string."
That's one of the most baffling things I've ever heard a person say. What would you... I guess what is he selling it for scrap metal? He didn't look like a drug addict.
No, they live in a trailer.
It's
I'm
a
pretty sure they
child.
live in trailers. That's like what their music on Spotify is called, like Tunes from the Trailer Park.
Is it really? They're
Straight
on Spotify?
up. Dude, it's
Why
what.
didn't you tell me they're on Spotify?
Well, here's the fucked up thing. I listen to like every song, and it doesn't
listen to
sound.
Every song.
There's like 5 of them.
Oh,
but
man.
it doesn't sound as fucked up as it did that day. It's crazy.
No, I think you know what? I looked at their Instagram and they had little snippets and it didn't sound like that either.
Yeah, it's baffling.
It must have been some studio magic. They had Rick Rubin in there helping them, corralling them.
It's one of those things where it's like I've never seen a band that bad.
Oh,
in a
no.
while.
Dude, I mean, remember
Top 3.
when we saw that band, the Congestants from Syracuse?
Yes, that band was better.
That band was fucking Led Zeppelin compared
Exactly.
to this shit.
Yeah, straight up. Even though the drummer was probably even worse at drumming, it was 1,000 times better than this band.
I think the drummer understood like the assignment.
They had at least
Totally.
some semblance of like rhythm,
Yeah. So
and they knew, and like she knew the limits of
Yeah.
what she could do.
So we had ultimately a good time. Cincinnati was fun, despite some hiccups here and there. And Cleveland, I thought, was great.
I mean, the biggest
Cleveland.
hiccup,
Yeah.
biggest hiccup is that sometime on Friday night, my voice was hoarse, I think, from sinus drainage or something, and I was yelling over the music in the van about...
You're getting excited.
I remember what it was. I'm not going to say it, but then my voice was completely gone. So the entirety of basically from Friday night through all of Saturday, I could not talk, which threw a wrench in a couple plans, including that I was going to take empathogenic drugs in Saturday in Cincinnati. Then I was like, if I fucking do Molly and I can't talk, that might be awful. And also the show was moved from not being outdoors to being in a bookstore. And I was like, I don't know if I even want to do Molly surrounded by books. So that, and then I couldn't speak and that kind of fucked everything up. But thank the Lord, my shit was back on Sunday.
Yeah. So we had some good times. Apologies for anything being late. But
We had a very eventful couple weeks.
yeah, I've been dealing with a lot of personal stuff too. So we're going to move on to the main topic at hand,
Yeah.
which is related, Semi, to the
It's a
episode we
late-
did last
yeah.
week.
It's
We're doing a late Pride Month thing because
Yes.
we're straight people.
because we're see, that's where we're not professional.
Well, you know what? It's Pride Week in Rochester.
Oh yeah, you're
We
right.
have a Pride. Our
We're
Pride
extra
Week
gay. I
is-
forgot. Yeah.
We're extra gay, and our Pride Week is the 2nd or 3rd week or something like that in July.
I think it's the second.
I think it's the 2nd week. So hey, you know what? We made up for it. And we're going to talk about a band that is not
Two bands.
that are not from Rochester or even New
But
York.
they are gay.
They're very gay.
From a place that's so fucking not like here that it's you can't even believe it.
During a time where being gay was still kind of very
where-
much looked down on.
Where they
around-
were, it was illegal.
especially where they were.
Yeah, like right. They would go to jail for.
You could in theory.
But you probably know what we're talking about because we probably put it in the description, but maybe not. We're talking about the Dicks and Big Boys.
Yes,
big,
indeed.
Big boy.
I think they're just big boys.
Big Boys.
I think it is just Big Boys. Yeah,
There's no-
people call them
There's
the Big
there's
Boys.
a band
though.
called.
It's interchangeable.
There's a new band called Big Boy, and honestly, fuck them.
Yeah,
Some
that's-
stupid fucking.
What does
like,
it sound like?
kinda.
I have a
I
guess.
think
but
they're
I'm
a
wrong.
beatdown.
I was
band.
gonna say it's got to be
Of course
right.
they
Yeah.
fucking are. I think they're from the Bay Area too. I'm sick of that place. You just push it into the fucking ocean.
I will shout out there's a great punk record from there like last year. Check out the Losers LP if you hadn't. It's really good. It
The
sounds
Losers.
It sounds like the Circle Jerks. It's awesome.
Okay, I think I might have
Okay.
heard of that then.
Yeah, that shit's
Oh,
good.
that sounds. See, I like that band name.
The
Yeah, that's
Losers
great.
is a good band
That's
name.
good.
Big Boy is that you just pissed me off with it because I knew it was going to be a beatdown band.
Yeah, it's always some shit
Thankfully,
like that.
Big Boys Or nothing like that.
It is very interesting how people are just like, what's the easiest? Oh, here we go. Yeah, just beat down.
Yeah.
At that point, it's like, you don't even have to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, my next band's going to be Metallica. Because at this point, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Megadeth, but spelled normally.
Like regular.
But Big Boys and the Dicks are from Texas.
Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. Formed in both 1979?
Yes.
Or some of them are
78
Dicks earlier?
Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
No, Big Boys were 79.
Yeah, Big Boys are definitely 79. Dicks, I think Dicks were too. They might have been a little earlier, but I don't really think so. I don't think the Dicks were playing shows in 78, if I'm not mistaken. There was a punk scene in Austin by 78, largely centered around the club Raoul's, which we'll mention maybe a little more later. That was a place. It was like one of those things where it was a bar that was already there.
Yeah.
And wasn't a punk bar, but then they started doing those kind of shows there.
Like we talked about it in Chicago. I forgot what the one place in Chicago where there was kind of a gay bar, and they were like, what if we did a punk night? And it fucking went over great. And then eventually they started having bands.
Yeah, there was in 78, the band The Huns from the Bay Area played there, and there was like a riot. So it was
Bay Area, man.
It was, yeah.
But I mean, many such cases, as we know. Again, I mean, really, the queer identity, the gay identity. Of
I will
punk
note
rock
that
is
Raoul's was not a gay club. It was like
not
a fucking like they had like
a titty bar.
No, it was like Tejano music originally.
Oh,
but
nice.
Then, like Hispanic guys owned it, but then some other musicians kind of approached them like, "Hey, can we just do a show there?" They were these dudes who had formed a band called the Violators, and later some of their friends were in a band called the Skunks, who are great, like Killed by Death type, as we call it now, band from Texas. Guys who owned the place were skeptical, but they started doing these shows, and they were bringing in people, so they let them do like punk, new wave kind of stuff there.
Yeah.
And at that Huns show, I think he got arrested for obscenity. I don't know what he did exactly, but it was all over the news. It was even in Rolling Stone and shit, because there was a picture of him like getting arrested and handcuffed on stage, and, like trying to kiss one of the cops.
That's I mean, gay bar or not. I mean, the punk moving into like the unlikely spot. Like it's a lot of reluctant owners and like people who a lot of times are just like, man, maybe they're not doing so good.
Yep.
They could maybe use a little.
They need something, yeah.
We need something to spice this up a little bit. So
that's what I like. That a failing business be like, yeah, I'll do some punk rock shows.
Honestly, I think if you got your local scene needs a place, find a bar that has a stage that no one likes.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Kerr said they did do shows at gay clubs too, but that place, Emeralds, it was both the situation. He said, quote, the people running it didn't know what the hell kind of music it was, unquote. So it's like, well, if they don't know what it is, maybe they're not that worried about it.
Yeah. So both bands, as you probably are familiar, our listeners are maybe a little bit familiar with, I would say pretty important in like the early punk kind of crossover with hardcore from like the late 70s into the early 80s. Like, would you call them hardcore bands, or is it kind of like one of those things where like hardcore bands would maybe play with them?
I would consider them, because like you gotta, in this context at least, kind of think of hardcore as like a scene.
Yeah,
like it's like I don't exactly want to call Flipper a hardcore band, but I don't want to like say they're not either, because who the fuck did Flipper play with?
Oh, they're a sludge band.
Oh yes, of course.
Flipper, noted sludge metal band. Flipper and also Black Flag on My War.
But also these
the B-side.
Both of those bands. Oh, by the way, just to go back a little bit,
sure.
Dick started actually technically a little later. Their first show was in May of 1980. Big Boy started in 79.
Okay.
Gotcha. But both bands do have they have fast songs. Not all their songs are fast songs, but certainly they have songs that are unmistakably hardcore songs. But it's also worth noting that I don't know that either band started. I don't think they started as like hardcore bands at all. They were influenced by other stuff that I can elaborate on in a little bit.
Pretty early on for them. started as a punk band. Hardcore
sure.
really wasn't a thing in 79, 80. Barely in 80.
I mean, it was a select few bands in
Not
the
in
US
not
at
in
that
Austin,
point.
Texas, and
Not
this
in
was before
Austin,
the internet.
no, if you were in New York City, maybe. If you're in LA,
Maybe.
Not even
Maybe.
New York City, dude. New York City was later
Yeah.
than most places because
Yeah.
they had so much other shit
guess
happening.
what, Detroit or like, yeah, because
Detroit,
fucking
maybe like
Necros.
DC
DC for sure.
DC
yeah.
and LA would be kind of the biggest ones. I think is how most people generally see it.
Yeah.
So basically, Austin and Texas in general, their early punk scene. We've talked about the Butthole Surfers on the
Yep.
podcast.
Yeah, they're part of this too.
It's a very interesting scene because I mean, if you think about like the early punk hardcore bands from that era, they don't really fit in exactly with the broader sound.
Yeah.
Like Scratch Acid is from Texas, I think, right?
I didn't know that. I don't
pretty
know.
sure. I
think they
from
are,
that,
yeah.
but could be.
But yeah,
Are
Butthole
they from
Surfers.
Austin?
They might might be from I have no idea.
Maybe
Because I know,
San Antonio.
I know. I think part of this.
Butthole Surfers are from San Antonio.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that. Because I know part of this, I think, is how, like, and I've actually never been to Austin, but to my understanding, especially back then, it had long been kind of known as, like,
That's the hippie spot.
well, the hippie spot and, like, kind of a separate world to some degree from the entire rest of Texas. Like,
Yeah.
so there's still some shit kickers there and stuff, but, like, people from other parts of Texas who were more conservative or whatever would talk, it'd be like fucking if we drove a couple hours south of here to like the worst place in the world and asked them about New York City, what they would
Yeah.
think of it.
Yeah, the Scratch Acid is from Austin. So also
Okay.
from Austin. Yeah,
What's
but,
the worst place in the world? What are you talking about?
I just feel like that whole little segment of New York that's like as west as here, but south of here. Like I've never been to Elmira. I went to Olean.
Okay.
Olean wasn't as shitty
Or
as
like
I expected.
Jamestown, maybe.
Never been there either. Olean was less shitty than I expected, but if you go away from those cities in that general area, it feels very cursed to me.
Oh, you know what's a weird area? Like, when we were driving, we drove through some weird, shitty, fucking like redneck ass towns, like in far north.
Oh, the
New
North
York.
Country. Yeah, I've never been over there.
Well, it's weird because it would be like we got off at one exit and it was like some shitty, stupid bullshit redneck town where like the
Yeah.
whole town was at like the gas station.
Yup.
But then it's like if you drive a little farther, it's like Mr. Fancy Pants.
That's New York State,
Like
man.
they're
It's
all
crazy.
like it's like they're on like the lake or some shit.
Yeah, it's New York State, man. It's weird. Doesn't make sense.
But anyway, as
But yeah,
I,
Austin was a hippie place and then kind of just a general purpose freak place, and I think that's reflected in both of these bands that we're talking about, even more so than maybe some of the punk bands that preceded them in that area.
Yeah. And I think both bands have like some interesting influences that I think really kind of separate them from like bands around
other
that same time.
contemporaries.
They're
Yeah.
contemporaries.
Definitely. Can we get in that in a second? We take a quick break so I can use the bathroom?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey man, I'm sick of this shit. I'm feeling bad. I'm feeling down. I'm feeling dead. In a motel room. Everybody I know, they look at me. Everybody I see, gotta get out free. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know who I am. I said the knife cut deep, cut into my soul. I say the devil is real. The fuckers laughing at me. I see our friend. Never thought it would end. But me being dead. Fucking motel room. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know who I am. I heard a gun go off. It shot me in the back. I said the devil is real. I see him laughing at me. I hear an ambulance way down the road. I think I'm dead in a motel room. I
All right. So this is, or took a little break, but you are listening to a little snippet of "Dead in a Motel Room" by the Dicks.
Yeah.
From their split with
Big Boys live
Boys.
live at
The live
Raoul's. Yeah, this
album.
is this version of this song specifically. I think is my personal favorite track of them. Although there's some other very very strong contenders. Yeah, this was recorded in September of 1980 at Raoul's at 2610 Guadalupe Street near the University of Texas. As we said, it opened as the Teano Bar. It is, I think, notable. It was near the college campus because I read an interview with Tim Kerr from Big Boys where he's talking about how, as much as Austin was kind of generally like freak central relative to the rest of Texas, like within Austin, if you were a weird looking guy or whatever, you were safer closer to the campus than further. You might be further away from it.
Makes sense.
People might still fuck with you somewhere else more so. Yeah, weird fucking club. Big rap mural on the wall. It closed briefly in February of 1980, but it reopened before they did this. And yeah, this captures the Dicks, I think, pretty early on, but in a more fully formed form than the Big Boys. Like the Big Boys tracks, like the Dicks on this record sound like the fucking Dicks. Like
Yeah, for sure.
Big Boys, it sounds a little bit like they're still figuring things out, although they're also a band that is a little all over the place, as maybe we'll talk about. But on this, you can hear some guitar work that is extremely not normal for punk music at the time. A little bit, you don't hear as much in the song, but the guitar playing, what's his name? His name was Glenn Taylor was the guitarist. Very Hendrix influence. They cover Hendrix on their LP. You can hear the fucking bluesy, fucking belting vocals. And yeah,
Of Gary
I think
Floyd.
It's a great song.
Of one
Of
Gary
Gary Floyd,
Floyd.
the lead vocalist,
Rest in Peace.
who performed in drag and made it very, it was,
See-
impossible to ignore that element of the band.
I've read that they were a pretty confrontational band.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Very, you don't hear it on this song, but very radically political, and specifically, and this was unusual for the punk scene, they were like a Marxist band. They didn't rap anarchy signs and shit. They had fucking hammers and sickles. and all-
Chairman Mao pins.
Yeah, all that fucking stuff, and a big, fat fucking drag queen singing.
Man,
And
if
sounding like this, which is
Bands-
wild.
bands nowadays wish you wish you
yeah.
could do that, huh? Like now it's just, I mean, I don't want to be old man.
Well,
old
here's
man
the
yells at
thing.
Cloud,
I don't
but-
think any newer bands would have like a blues singer.
No, well, you know what? That's the problem.
They've
You know,
never
people
listened to
don't-
that music.
No.
They need you need a little bit. I think we got to reintegrate the blues a little bit. I'm sorry.
We could start with the Hendrix element if you wanted to.
Hendrix
Yeah,
fucking
that's
rules.
cool with
You
me.
got to remember how sick Jimi Hendrix is. I got to re-listen to him.
Dude,
I might
so
today.
sick.
But it's just, I loved him when I was a kid and I was learning guitar.
Dude,
because
and
he's so sick.
When he played with The Experience, like that first album, like he's so sick. Also, the rest of the band is incredible.
Yes.
His
Oh,
rhythm
yeah.
section was unfucking believable.
Mitch Mitchell? Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
yeah. So, both bands kind of, I mean, there's a lot of stuff here to kind of cover. I mean, there is, but there kind of isn't in a way, which is nice because we can kind of focus on maybe the next
Give our opinions a little
record
bit. Yeah.
of. Do we want to talk about the Dicks now, or not the
Or
Dicks? We
the
just
Big
did.
Boys, yeah.
Big Boys.
Yeah, we could do that. Only other notes I would have on the Dick side of the split, they play the song "Wheelchair Epidemic," later covered by the Jesus Lizard. Some of you might be fans of them.
I think they were also from Austin. They were members
yeah.
from where
Yeah,
dudes were in Scratch Acid.
I mean, Lizards, Desert, it's hot.
You know,
Uh,
Jesus.
There's also a song in there called "Saturday Night at the Bookstore," which is about cruising for gay sex. So that is right in the forefront on this record as well.
right up their alley.
Again, young new band would never. They'd go a queer band or a gay band would
Cruising
go,
for a
song
hanging
about
out.
having sex. Like, sorry, I'm as a no, I don't want to be Gen Z. Sorry, Gen Z seems to be so weirdly sex negative. It's baffling.
I can't even wrap my head around what
I don't
their
get it.
whole deal is. They need to change some. They need to switch things
They
up.
they need to.
So you know what? I hope
They
this
do some
episode.
things differently.
I hope
man.
this. I hope maybe someone will listen to the Dicks or the Big Boys, and maybe this will help them open up a little bit.
I hope
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah, they could be like, oh, if these guys are
You know, if
These
these
guys
guys
didn't give a
talking
fuck.
like
If they
Right,
could
why
do
not
it in
me?
fucking 1980 in fucking Texas,
Yeah,
to
it's
be
some fucking
talking
balls,
about
man.
that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
push the envelope a little bit, guys. Big Boys, what's their first record?
You said it was
That
the
was
Frat
just
Cars, right?
Frat Cars.
I
right?
believe Frat Cars did come out first. Yeah, that is an EP. It was followed in I'm confirming this, but yeah, I think that came out in 1980. It looks to be. I struggled to find an exact release date, but in the chronology that was listed on Wikipedia, it came before the split LP. That doesn't mean that that's like accurate.
Yeah.
Right.
Some of
It came
these
out
records, it's hard to find exact release
It
dates
came out
on.
in 1980.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So let's listen to a song from there.
Yeah.
This will probably be, as you mentioned, with the songs on the side of their side of the split. It's really not the fully formed. I haven't listened to the Frat Car split or
Okay,
single.
cool.
So or EP. Is it a EP or is it like kind of like
a single, right?
It's 4 songs. So
Okay,
it's
so it's
an
more
EP,
of a
yeah.
single.
It's it's a short EP, I guess I'd
Short
call
EP.
it. Should we
Let's
listen to it and then maybe get into the history of the band after that?
Yeah, yeah,
Jump
that's a
in
great-
with some
that's a
music,
great way to
dude?
start.
Yeah.
Listen to the song "Frat Cars." You want to do that?
I guess so. Sure. Yeah, that one's
That's
good.
the lead track.
Mutant Rock is good too, but we could do the title track.
Yeah.
To kill some Francis. Get him! Cruising in their big cars, wasting lots of gas. When are they gonna learn? That don't give 'em no class. Big lots full of mama's wagons, Mercedes, Trans Ams, and Jeeps. All paid for by daddy. Ain't this life too cheap? Flat cars, I can't stand those flat cars. Driving up the streets with all those stupid grease. Fucking with the grease, let's turn them away. Hanging out their Tetons and thinking that they're cool. And drinking beer in Ezons and acting like a fool. Frat cars are so useless. Who needs them in our town? If we get rid of those frat cars, there'll be no more frats around. Frat cars, I can't stand those frat cars. Driving up the streets with all those stupid grease. Fucking with the grease, let's throw them away.
All right.
It's an even
Frat
better
Cars.
song than I remembered.
Yeah, I mean, I think they do kind of come out swinging with that. I think one of their kind of
They're more.
key sounds, which is their like interesting guitar tone and also
Yeah.
like playing.
Kind of wiry
Yeah.
sounding, like both in terms of maybe the band wire, but also just like wiry
Yeah.
sounding.
We were talking in a group chat, kind of, and not this necessarily, but some of the records later, influenced by maybe a Gang of Four.
Yeah.
or
For
something
sure,
like
for
that,
sure.
where it's kind of just like twangy, wiry, shrill kind of guitar tone.
Yeah.
and the Dicks kind of have that too.
Yeah, this is a little
slightly
beefier
different
sounding.
way.
But, so I found an interview with Tim Kerr, the guitar player from this band, that I think really illuminated this for me. I mean, he talked elsewhere about like he had exposure to like soul music and stuff growing up, and some country music, and then he was kind of into Nick Drake and like some like folk stuff. But where he got into like punk and adjacent things, he was working at a record store, and all this stuff started to come in, punk and new wave. He said the 3 bands he mentioned that grabbed him a lot were the Undertones, XTC, and Stiff Little Fingers, more so than Dead Boys and the Sex Pistols. And now that I'm thinking about it, the second song on the Undertones LP has that same drum beat, the one where the upbeats and downbeats are backwards, that like cut through. So that might have been where they got that from, honestly, is from that Undertones record. I think there's a few songs on there like that. XTC is kind of, I haven't actually listened to that much, but they're like a new wave band that's kind of wiry sounding like that too.
I didn't realize that band has been around for that long.
Oh yeah, long time.
Yeah, I thought that was like a
70s.
later
Dude,
80s band or
yeah,
something like
or
that.
like even because I remember seeing that name as a kid, and I was like, oh, like what is it, like a '90s?
They got that
like,
one
band?
song.
Well, they got big later, but they started pretty early on.
Yeah,
So I could hear some new wave influence in that regard, if whatever the fuck new wave means. But then the chorus on that song is really catchy. It's got like frat cars, I can't stand those frat cars, like very catchy, infectious kind of chorus. I know these guys were into like proto Oi or early English Oi too, like Cockney Rejects, Sham 69.
For sure.
We're getting a few sort of weird mix of influences right off the bat. Or it seems weird to us, but to them it probably didn't. It was just like, these are the records. These records are all they're all in the same section of the record store under New Wave Imports. So whatever.
Now, the Big Boys, did they have two different vocalists?
Tim Kerr, I think, does backing vocals.
Okay, and then because Biscuit is like
Biscuit is the lead vocalist.
He's got the
yes.
more rough around the edges style.
Yeah, rough around the edges, and honestly,
Tim
makes sense.
little
Kerr
bit of a
could
better
actually
singer.
sing a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he sang on that Sound on Sound song.
That is him.
Oh,
yes.
for sure. That's
his voice,
Total sense, yeah. And there's a couple other songs that he sings that are pretty good too. Nice departures, but I think you bring it up like they maybe got this part from the Undertones thing, and this we'll talk about later with their other records, especially their third LP. They definitely seem to take a lot of maybe direct influence on some of these songs.
Yes.
Which I think Big Boys have a sound.
Yeah.
I think one of the bigger things, I don't know if you could really, we listened to this on the TV, so I couldn't really hear it, but their bass player, awesome.
Totally.
Awesome bass player.
Yeah, very good.
Very funk informed with especially a decent amount of like slap bass, which is probably pretty new. It was pretty fresh at the time.
Chris Gates is the name of the bass player, by the way.
In regards to punk, or at the very least, doing it with hardcore at all.
Yeah. Chris Gates on bass, then Tim Kerr guitar, and Biscuit Turner on vocals. What's his real name? Randy Biscuit Turner on vocals. At this point, they had a guy named Steve Collier playing drums, but they changed drummers, I think, multiple times in their tenure.
As one does with a band, punk.
You know, always kick the drummer out.
Just someone. Always one person is kind of
switches up a little more.
Well, honestly, as far as they're concerned, I feel like the drums is probably the least. Like the three, the singer, the guitar player, and the bass player, like you kind of need them.
Those are the three most unique elements of them.
Yeah.
I
drums
agree.
could be anybody.
It kind of unfortunately could. Sorry, Steve. Going back to the Dicks.
Yes.
81, 82. 81, Kill from the Heart. Or no. They Hate the Police.
Hate the Police. That was their first.
Comes out, which is, I think...
Which is another very influential. Mudhoney covered the title track.
Yep.
Good. I like that version as well. Interesting 7-inch. They do a Bee Gees cover on the B side.
Mm-hmm.
Night Fever.
Oh, yeah.
That's a pretty good cover too. I like that one.
No, yeah, for sure.
We got some interesting covers with these bands, and
definitely.
Unlike maybe some other parts of the country around this time, bands end up doing some cover songs that are maybe we'll say bad or forgettable at the very least.
Yeah.
Could have maybe been at the end of the records. I'm looking at you, Boston. Sorry,
Boston.
You guys did a lot of those. Like, what the fuck was every fucking hardcore band like? What if we covered a classic rock song? Like,
Channel 3 doing Lord of the Thighs by Aerosmith.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Wait, was that Channel 3 who did that?
Pretty sure, yeah. But that was like their later material.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Last Time I Drank record a lot, but I think that cover is thankfully towards the end of the record.
Yeah.
That record opens with an incredible song, and then it kind of goes downhill from there. Austin during this era, so in addition to these bands, you had the Offenders, Really Red, but the point I would make, Tim Kerr makes in this interview, none of those bands sounded anything like each other, really.
No.
Which is cool, and that's not how every scene was. With regards to Big Boys, I would also mention again, Biscuit Turner, the vocalist, was gay, and he didn't go full drag like Gary Floyd did, but he'd wear tutus with lights on them and pink berets, makeup, costumes, but it was fun. I think this band always was about.
It's like a party band.
A good time party band. Some of them were skateboarders. I think all of them were skateboarders.
Yeah.
So they're kind of associated with that as well.
Yeah, Dicks seemed to be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very in your face.
No, that is a mean political band, but also I'm sure a fun one to see, but regardless.
Yeah, ultimately I think both these bands would be fucking awesome to see live.
Yeah.
For sure.
They've been great in the fucking 81. Can you imagine that? Fuck. But should we play a song from
Hate the Police? Like the title track?
Title track.
Yeah, if in case there's a single person in our audience who hasn't heard this, you got to hear this. This, I
Yeah,
think,
I
is
feel like this is a pretty, honestly, like an iconic
Stone Cold classic. I think this is kind of a shoe-in for being like the best anti-cop song.
Maybe.
It's hard to beat. For like
Texas seems to have a couple. I mean,
who else?
MDC is from Texas, too.
Yep.
MDC is a couple too. That's a good song, but like this song is on some shit.
They really, I guess.
I can talk about it more.
A
in
lot
minute.
of, I mean, obviously, people back then didn't like the cops. Texas seemed to really hate the cops, but also it
Wonder
makes
why.
it makes kind of total sense. I bet they were even bigger fucking dicks than.
they're probably the
anywhere else.
worst fucking people you'll ever meet in your fucking
Well,
life.
they said
Yeah.
back then they would do a thing where they would like shoot somebody and then like throw a pistol down on them and be like, "Oh, look, they had a gun."
Jesus
Just like
Christ.
not
Just,
even
like,
trying.
kill people like that.
All right, here's Hate the Police.
Mommy, 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 look at your son. You might have loved me, but now I got a gun. You better stay out of the way. I think I had a bad day. Had a bad day. I had a bad day. Daddy, daddy, daddy. Out of his son. He got him a good job. Kill niggers and Mexicans. I tell you something, and it's true. You can't find justice, it'll find you. Yeah, it'll find you. Yeah, it'll find you. People tell policemen they met their match. They planted on desert sand. The dicks were hatched. Dicks hate policemen, and it's true. You can't find justice, it'll find you. Yeah, it'll find you. Yeah, it'll find you. Mommy, mommy, look at your son. Maybe you once loved me, but now I've got a gun. You better stay out of my way. Hey, I've had a bad day. I've had a bad day. Mommy, I've had a bad day. Oh, I've had a bad day. Mommy, I've had a bad day.
All right.
Yeah, are we rolling? All right, yeah. So that was Dicks Hate the Police. One thing I've noticed about the song, I think the lyrics are like solidly a cut above most punk lyrics. The fucking "mommy, look at your son, daddy, proud of your son" thing, I read as like an Oedipus kind of deal, which is always kind of creepy and cool when people invoke that in lyrics. And if you listen to the last verse, he's telling his mom to stay out of his way, murdering the mother. That's like kind of I feel like that's part of like. I know this is unfashionable language nowadays, but like toxic masculinity is kind of all about destroying the traits within yourself that you would see associated with like a woman, and the first woman you'd learn them from is your mother in theory. And I think that's probably not an inaccurate little armchair psychoanalysis of every cop in Austin, Texas at this point in time, and probably today.
Yeah, probably not.
Leading up to this very moment.
Yes.
How prescient. That's my favorite. It kind of is. I do love when like reading lyrics from like the 80s, a punk band especially, and it's still being like relevant,
Yeah, man.
even if only a little bit in the modern day. It like kind of shows how like important this shit kind of is, and why I think younger people should be listening to these older bands is because like, hey, things haven't been changing, like.
Right, like
that's
this
not
is like
there's a good thing, but it's like this is why you get involved with this shit. This is one of the reasons.
this is a 46-year-old song, and it is still relevant.
Exactly. I mean, that's why I think "Feel the Darkness" is one of my favorite like hardcore. I mean, records in general by Poison Idea. Is because like every single song I think that like touches on like some sort of like social or political topic.
Their anti-cop song is a competitor for this one.
Yes.
Those are
Oh,
like
the
the two
badge,
I
yes,
would really highlight
yes.
as like the front runners.
To this day, I think that record is like. I mean, they have a record about like fucking fossil fuels and how like not even just about fossil fuels, but how like the people that are in charge of it don't care because who gives a fuck? I'm going to be dead.
Right.
But what about the rest of us?
Yeah.
And I think both the Dicks and the Dicks especially kind of touch on those kinds of like sentiments, especially with this song.
One thing I'd like to point out, this record, the artwork, very forward in promoting themselves as communists.
Yes, it's got the 5 heads, the Marx, Engels,
The Red
Lenin,
Star, the Hammer and Sickle.
Yeah.
Which
Stalin,
is,
and Mao.
honestly, I feel like you don't see very many bands going for that kind of aesthetic.
Rep, yeah,
no,
more bands.
people don't rep it like that. People who
No.
are on the internet all day rep that shit, not people who make
Not,
music.
not
Sad.
people in bands.
Yeah, not so much.
So moving back to the Big Boys.
Big boys.
Yes, indeed.
What's their first LP called?
It's
again?
called Where's My Towel / Industry Standard.
Yeah, this record, this is the one, I think the one record we're talking about today are from these bands that I had never listened to prior to this.
I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, because it's not on the Elvis, those
So,
collections. Yeah.
It's on the skin. I think it's on Skinny Elvis.
Oh, maybe I
right?
only had Fat Elvis.
Okay,
Yeah.
so many of our listeners, if you are familiar with Big Boys, you probably had heard their compilation record called Fat Elvis, which has the Fun 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 EP, has the second, now that I thought it was their first LP, their second LP from 1983, and their third LP from 1985 on it. Now, one would inquire, why not put the first and second LP? I'm not sure. Maybe because it kind of. I listened to the first there's only like 8 songs or something like that on it. I listened to like the first like 6 songs, so I guess I listened to most of the songs. I do think stylistically is a little bit different than their the LP after.
This sounds different than their other stuff. I was stoked on it when I listened to it.
There's still like a through line. It makes sense. But
This is kind of more on the whole, more so on the Gang of Four.
Yeah, Gang of Four,
Yeah.
post-punk.
Yeah.
I was stoked because, like, as much as this is like a party band and they have a record called Fun, 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 and so on, this record has some, like, moody moments that I think
Yeah.
are really good and also kind of unusual. I would highlight the song "Complete Control" is like the banger for my money.
is the first song TV or is that the
That's the second
one, yeah.
That song I thought was really cool. I like songs about TV are always really funny back then.
I remember that song now. Yeah, people were very mad about TV at the time.
And especially punk and hardcore bands. People are
Yeah.
like, oh, he's looking at the TV, spending all your time. It's like, I
Well,
don't know,
it'd be
man.
like a band now being
know
like, get off your fucking phone.
They didn't
you
have Sopranos
ass."
and The Wire back then, so they didn't really understand how compelling
Yeah,
television could be.
They were watching stuff that was pretty bad.
Yeah, dog
but
shit.
I think stylistically, yes, the guitar work and bass work. Dude, I was like listening to this. I was like, dude, I want to do a band like this so bad. Like
I feel you.
where
yeah.
it like
Trying to get a little funky with it.
it's funky, but it's not like
No, not
funk.
like they're later, like on the later records, right?
But that kind of vibe is like some of my favorite punk stuff.
yeah.
And especially with like being a bass player mostly,
yeah, for
I
sure.
love that kind of shit. Is there a song we want to do? We want to play a song on this, or do we want to skip it and listen to another song from another record? I don't. We're at about an hour. We're almost an hour. So
I'd be down. Why don't we move on to like the fun
EP.
and then we
Yeah,
can play.
I guess if we're doing this for people who maybe don't know these bands that well, that would make more sense to start with. But I will tell you, if you have some familiarity with this band and you haven't heard "Where's My Towel," at least go listen to that Complete Control song because it's amazing. It's like it's like almost not quite. You make some tweaks, it's like a fucking death rock song. It's crazy, and the lyrics are different than some of their other lyrics. It seems like a kind of about relationships.
No, I mean, yeah, like maybe, yeah, listeners might not have heard that record, might not have even known about it like me. Not that I'm like a huge Big Boys guy, but at the very least, I had listened to like the Fat Elvis comp a few times.
I used to listen to it all the time, and then like I really, really didn't for many, many years until I was preparing for this episode. And I think the timing is good. I think there was a long period of my life where I was not in any places I was in. It was not a place where like the Big Boys would have served me listening to it. And now I think I kind of am again.
yeah.
So that's cool.
You know what? So I feel the same.
Yeah, it's good news.
Why don't we? I think of fun. I like that Apolitical song.
That's a good, quick little one.
It's a hardcore song.
It's
real
it shows that they can play hardcore.
I mean, honestly, the first song, "Nervous" too, was. I mean,
That's them doing their like funk thing.
Yeah. I mean, would we want to play both? Because both of them combined, it's under 3 minutes. So.
If we're
about an hour. I don't want to.
Here's what I would.
We still have like 3 more records.
Here's
to
what I
talk
would say about this.
Technically,
Right.
We can do that if we were to decide that we're not covering all of the records from both of these bands, which I'm not sure if we need to or not.
Yeah, we probably don't.
I mean,
need
we
to.
could skip probably the second Dick's record. I don't think that's.
Yeah, it's not. We don't love it. And
I mean, we could probably also.
The second, I mean, even the third Big Boys LP. That's good. I liked it, but
no, it's good.
I think
what are we
should
showing
play
people,
something
you
from
know?
the second one at least. The third one, I think we could probably.
the third Big Boys LP. I'll say this. I said to you guys, the first song, No,
Yeah.
straight up sounded like a Black Flag song.
Yes.
I forgot which song, but I know exactly. Maybe it is Slip It In.
Yeah, it does sound
or
like
something
that.
like that. But I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I mean, it was still a good song, but it was like, geez, like this is so blatant. It seems.
Yeah.
But I think the band kind of does it with the song. We should listen to these two songs.
Yeah.
Nervous and Apolitical. Apolitical sounds like a very specific band, and it kind of makes sense timeline wise.
I'm curious to hear you explain that because I don't know off the top of my head.
But let's listen to those two songs, and we'll talk about the Dick's LP, and we'll talk about the second Big Boys LP.
Yeah. The one.
You made me nervous and I go insane. Too many problems seem to take my brain. I had a heart, but I don't anymore. Fuck down my mind and I crawl on the floor, yeah. Fuck down my mind and I crawl on the floor. Fuck down my mind and I crawl on the floor, yeah. Across the shades are all I can see. My face a robot always haunting me. You made me nervous, I can't stand anymore. Fuck down my mind and I crawl on the floor, yeah. Fuck down my mind and I crawl on the floor. Fuck down my mind and I crawl on the floor, yeah. You never touch, you never even try. I open up, you go running high. You walking backwards, see an open door, yeah. You made me nervous when you crawl on the floor, yeah. You made me nervous and I crawl on the floor. You made me nervous and I crawl on the floor. Watch me crawl. You made me nervous and I crawl on the floor. You made me nervous and I crawl on the floor, yeah. Distress and mistresses are all I can see. You always trying to put something over on me. You all alone and I'm blowing the show, yeah. You made me nervous and I crawl on the floor, yeah. You made me nervous and I crawl on the floor. You made me nervous and I crawl on the floor. You made me nervous and I crawl on the floor, yeah. The radiation hasn't changed the glory voice and there's no range of your successful sway the truth. You think there's something you can do? I'm I let it go. I'm I let it go. I don't care how sour drunk and blowing so right off the world and waking there with all his class just another yes or no. I let it go. I'm I let it go. It's time for me to take a stand when everyone has got the plans to push a button on the wall. Just a game, I'm the pro. I'm I let it go. I'm I let it go. Leave your own breath with chance, give it out and down your best. So many comes from the world today, they just get in the way. I'm I let it go. I'm I let it go. Yeah.
All right, that's Nervous and Apolitical. The Nervous has the bass and guitar playing is so cool.
Dude, and they're doing that drum beat again, but now it's leaned into like, all right, this isn't the undertones, this is fucking James Brown, and it's so infectious. I hear this song and it makes me want to fucking dance. Like I'm ready to like go off.
They
listening to
are
this shit.
very good with the whole. It's like this is very groovy for like a punk rock.
Oh yeah.
So what I was saying with Apolitical sounds like Dead Kennedys. Sounds like a Dead Kennedy song.
Oh no, it
I
totally
may,
does. Yeah.
But let me
Oh, I
go.
mean, especially with like the chorus. Yeah, it does.
I would
yeah.
I would say you
and
could.
like think about like In God We Trust came
Yep.
out in 1981.
Yep.
There you go.
Probably had heard and we're like, yeah, let's do a
You
song.
can
like
hear that on some of their fast songs. Also, when I was listening to that second Dick's record that we weren't big fans of, I could hear what you're saying about they want to be an SST band. I also heard a little bit of like, it sounds like you kind of want to be the Dead Kennedys, but you're not really committing to it just yet.
I got
If it
more
was
of
in
like
San
a
Francisco,
Minutemen vibe.
If it was in San
Minutemen,
Francisco,
I forgot about
that
them,
makes
yeah.
total sense. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's where they were based.
Yeah.
And,
when they did that LP.
But so yeah, I mean, this is a great EP. Honestly, I don't think Big Boys has like the third LP isn't bad. The
Well,
third
I
LP,
think that one's my personal. I like that
favorite?
one the most.
I think it's
yeah.
really good.
I
don't
think
know
they,
which one my favorite is.
It's just it's an interesting record because I mean, all the records I think besides maybe the first LP, I feel like they do a lot of like we'll say musical chairs in a way.
Sure.
Oh, you mean with how they switch styles? a lot.
The third
Yeah.
LP kind of sound. I said to you guys in the group chat, it sounds like a mixtape. Like they're
The
doing
third one you're talking
a
about?
lot of
third one or
different
the
stuff.
second one?
The third one, the last one.
Okay.
Like that's the one that has the rap song on it, kind of
With the turntables.
With the turntables.
That took me aback when I was listening to it.
So that's you
during
know what I
ketamine
mean. You get what
therapy.
I mean. Where
That
it's
was
like,
maybe like, all
It's a
right,
little much.
guys.
Because a lot of the songs on there, like the first one that you said was a Black Flag ripoff. My thought when I put the record on was, this sounds like it could have been on Amphetamine Reptile like 10 years after it actually
Yeah.
came out, or like Piss Jeans.
I
even.
mean, also that What's the Word song, it's like this just sounds like a Cool in the Gang song.
yeah. Well, they have a few of those. They also covered
Yeah.
Cool in
Right,
the Gang.
Hollywood
released once,
Swing,
yeah.
right.
so yeah, they cover a lot of different sounds.
I think that's something that reflects that like they were a big part of this. I guess a big part of every band, but especially this band was their fucking crazy ass awesome live show.
Yeah.
And doing those genre switch ups live, I feel like is almost easier to pull off because
Yep.
everybody's fucking and they were
Yeah, you're having fun.
This band was big on like audience participation. They wanted to get everybody on stage, everybody dancing. And when everybody's having fun like that, you can kind of play whatever as long as you play it good.
Yeah. And like, yeah, just I
and-
think honestly, I feel like I was gonna say Leaking Head kind of like our LP is gonna be like a Big Boys LP.
A little
if
bit, yeah,
anything.
for sure. Yeah.
'Cause we
Not
have
quite, but
no,
you know.
not quite, but in
Close.
terms of like we have stylistically,
But also-
different songs.
Yeah.
As we keep writing it, we should make it a little more like that. Like the
Honestly.
last couple things we write, we should get real.
Dude,
weird
I
with
should
it.
learn how to play slap bass again.
You should do that, yeah.
But
Oh, another thing too,
Yeah.
that song "Sound on Sound" from the
Yeah.
second record. It's like
Dude.
this is like you said, this is an indie rock song.
I was like,
Somebody-
what the
somebody
fuck is- I mean,
pitched-
I like it. It's a great song.
Pitchfork or somebody highlighted that as maybe the first post-hardcore song because that's
Really
what it sounds like.
Okay, I can believe that. I can.
Like, I wouldn't-
Fork said
it
that
kind
song
of
did?
reminded me.
I don't remember if it was Pitchfork, but a similar outlet said like, or that it was like the first thing that sounds like post-hardcore.
Which
Which
what
it
was
does,
that?
dude. It sounds like Revolution Summer stuff, but it was years before that.
I was gonna say it kind of reminded me of that. What's that band from Boston that we covered?
Mission of Burma.
It kind of reminded me of
That
something
too.
like
Yeah,
that.
definitely. Yeah.
So, but again, you could also call Mission of Burma like post-hardcore or
Or
like,
proto
Proto-post-hardcore.
hardcore.
Dick's Kill from the Heart.
Classic hardcore LP.
This
like,
is-
iconic hard. You gotta fuck with it, man.
I mean, it's a bunch of songs on here that I think are truly iconic.
Oh, I mean, also, I'd say this is a no skip.
Yeah,
Oh, this is a no
Like
skip
every
for sure.
song on it, really good.
really good. I skipped Purple Haze because I was like, okay, I don't need to listen to this. but it's not a bad cover.
You don't need to listen to it all the time, but it's still not a skip. It's not like I always skip it. It's like, do I have time today?
Also, the last song is like you probably don't need to listen to like all 11 minutes of it.
No,
Not
but
necessarily.
if you're driving, if you're putting on,
don't
if
need
you're
to
on a road
skip it.
trip,
Not gonna
yeah,
bother me.
Don't bother. Just play it all.
I mean, it's an 11-minute funk rock song. I mean, how can you?
Yeah,
I can't really hate on
It is a
that.
record that kind of gets weirder and weirder as it goes on.
Yeah, I think this kind of showcases the like really chaotic guitar playing.
He is wilding out.
I'm trying to think of like the one song I would like to. I mean,
It's crazy because you could tell that he's a good guitar player, but he is playing like he doesn't give a fuck. Like
he's playing like he's trying to kill you.
yeah, you know what he's doing? It's because we've all recorded before. I know I've had guitar experiences where like I'm going in and it'll be like that's the best I've ever played that solo, except there's also a part in the song where I play completely the wrong chord, right?
Yeah.
And normally you say, well, that sucks. I got to ditch that take that was so good. This dude was like, no, I'm keeping the takes where I kick the most ass, even if I play things wrong.
Yep.
And maybe that's the way to do it, honestly.
What song? Because they do. I mean, it really is. You can't go wrong with.
I think.
Do a fast one. We did a slow one before.
Wild
Do a
or
fast one.
Bourgeoisie.
Fascist Pig.
Which one has like the? There's one that has like such a sick bass line. I think it's Pigs Run Wild.
Pigs Run Wild is my personal favorite. I will say it's a slower one.
That one is a slower one.
And we did a slower one last time, so we could do that. We could also do Rich Daddy is crazy sounding.
Yeah, let's do
we
that.
should do
one.
Rich Daddy because the
that
first like 5 songs up until I think the first 5 songs, it sounds like they recorded it separately. Or if it was a different session.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
And we'll hear it, and we'll play the song, and then I'll explain my thoughts on the production because I think you know what we got to talk about that kind of stuff more because certain podcasts that I like don't talk about it almost at all, and it kind of frustrates me.
Okay.
Okay.
So, all right, we unfortunately
We just listened to
we
a
listened to
bad-
Rich Daddy, then we listened to a song by No Cure, which is really bad.
Why did you stand?
We don't know why we. Well, it's because
Well, you piqued my interest when you were like, "Oh, they suck."
That is interesting to
suck.
me. That is interesting to us. It's a
Dude, I love bad stuff.
Yes, I remember that. Like, I'm assuming Euro that got mad that they're talking about all the band songs while talking about the Beastie Boys. And it's like,
Yes.
yeah, man, this is what we do.
Yeah, it's called a podcast.
Wait, what did we-
have you
what
ever
did we
listened to
do?
one before?
We,
What did
I
you
guess
say?
during the Beastie Boys episode, we talked about other bands, and it's like,
Oh.
yeah, or
It's
other
like, how am I
songs.
supposed to remember that?
Yeah.
We're not even that bad as far as getting off topic.
No,
We
but
could be
also
much worse.
we had to listen to some bad music because it's been
Right, we just listened to like 5 or 6 good songs in a row.
no,
It's
that's
like,
true.
all right, time to stink it up a little
yeah,
bit.
got to fuck up our heads a little bit. Rich Daddy, great song. I think production-wise on these like first 5 songs on this record,
Yeah, different session.
different sessions. The guitar is doing like a Van Halen thing. The Van Halen thing, which is having a guitar hard pan, delay hard panned, so that way it sounds like there's another guitar track when it's just the same guitar track. but it sounds really weird, and I've never noticed it. Even the guitar playing in general, I thought like the Dix was more normal guitar playing than I did.
Well, you know where they probably
Yeah.
picked up on that is probably from Paul Leary from Butthole Surfers.
Oh, that's
Maybe
totally
that.
possible. Yeah,
That guy does some crazy guitar
yeah,
shit,
the shit
too.
is very unhinged.
I can very much see that, but
He can fucking play. You can tell he knows what he's doing.
for sure. I just meant in terms of like what they're even playing. Like,
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's so much more like crazier than I remember as a kid. Because it's again like Big Boys. Been a minute since I listened to this.
It's honestly like in some ways maybe, well, certainly circa 1982 it would have been way more left field than how like Greg Ginn did guitar. Even he was in some ways. I think he's great. He's like maybe the best, but in some ways he's actually a little more conventional than people realize. If you listen to what he mostly plays most of the time.
Yeah, it's just way more crazier than I remember it being. I think it was my adolescent and younger adult brain kind of filling in the pieces.
Yeah, totally. I know exactly what you
mentally.
mean. Yeah, I did that with a lot of these bands.
Yes.
Yeah, so Kill from the Heart, probably incredible record, probably one of the top U.S. hardcore records of the '80s.
Yeah,
Dude,
I think
it's got
that's
it.
safe to say. You could throw that
put
out
in the
there.
top 50 for sure.
Oh yeah,
Top-
absolutely
Top
yeah.
50 minimum. I'm tempted to say,
Maybe even 30.
25.
yeah,
Yeah.
25 sounds right. Yeah,
For LPs.
Yeah,
full
for
lengths.
sure.
Yeah.
The second record called These People, honestly, gigantic step down.
Yeah.
Nowhere near as
I didn't
good.
love it either. I was disappointed. I know they moved to San Francisco. I think had some lineup changes. It's just more low energy.
Yeah, right. Like they sound like kind of like it's like tired.
Yeah, and like the songs themselves are more subdued, and I think there's a way they could have done that would have worked, but the performances needed to be, because again, the first one we listened to on that live roll is Dead in Motel Room. That's on that record. That's more of a subdued composition than what we just heard. But when they play it at live rolls, they're ripping it, so it still works.
But moving then after that, Dix is done 1980, 1986,
Yep.
or 79, 86.
The original, it's like the U.S. hardcore movement itself.
Yeah,
Yep.
kinda.
According
It
to
is.
Stephen Bush.
According to the man himself.
So
I mean, I would be blushing too if I had a take that bad.
well, then it becomes something different. But
Then that's when they like really start, swinging dick.
yeah, Big Boys. What's their second album called?
Lullabies make the brain
As
grow.
well as help the brain go. Some of their definitive stuff on here.
Yeah.
It's got Funk Off, which is a funky song. Sound on Sound, which is kind of the start of the sounds like indie.
It's got,
We're Not In It to Lose. That's like got some like oi, like sing along. We're not in it to lose.
Yeah.
Definitely hear the British. Not even like I said, early like proto oi, like Cockney Rejects. Even like this isn't quite proto oi, but like the Ruts, that kind of era of British punk.
the song White Boop.
White Boop is
Very
a good song.
unfortunately titled. More so that's more on the Red Hot Chili Peppers side.
Brick Wall is like a real straight ahead hardcore one.
I was gonna say both bands love dropping a little boop here and
They
there.
did.
They are from Texas.
They are from Texas. At the end of the day,
Just,
gay as they may be, they are from Texas.
But here's the thing: it's not at all in like a
No, in a malicious
way.
way. No.
No, it's the opposite.
It's very
if
much the
anything.
opposite.
Oh, we didn't even get into the Bad Brains thing, but we don't. I don't know if we
fuck,
even have
yeah.
time to do it.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we could end on that.
It's a whole thing in and of itself, honestly.
Why don't we?
Why don't we play a song from this record, and then we'll end on this and why we kind of end up talking about these two.
Yeah,
bands.
yeah. I mean, I think the first song on this, "We Got Your Money," is kind of like, at least musically, like a pretty definitive like Big Boy song for me. So I would
You
say
want to do that one?
Yeah, let's do that one. If you don't like this, then like I don't know if you're gonna like this band. Probably, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Okay, get ready.
I want to be a problem. I want to make you see. I want to get reactions. I wake you from your dream. But I don't care if you don't like it. I don't think that it's the best. As long as you remember.
Okay, well, I think we were talking about how like this is such a fun song.
It's a blast.
I mean, a lot of good songs on this
Great
record.
sing along.
You couldn't play this cover now and have almost anyone who's under the age of 40, let alone under the age of 30.
30, yeah.
But it's a great sing-along, and I think another thing is the whoa-oh part. I think young people would be very turned off by it because...
Well, they'd be like, oh, is this like a Misfits song?
You can't do that in a song.
Like, is this pop punk?
Is this Bob Zombie?
So we were talking, we need to bring back the Dicks and Big Boys in the
For sure.
punk rock hardcore conversation
Dichotomy, yeah.
more. Sorry, guys, you got to play a funk. You got to get a little funky with it now. And that's just kind of the gist of it. I think that's the main takeaway from these two bands. That's their legacy.
Gotta do it.
Is that this is why punk and hardcore was cool and interesting back then. Because bands were trying to do different shit. Bands weren't just trying to 100% copy another band.
Like they're local contemporaries.
Yeah. And but they obviously the thing back then was the local bands influenced other local bands, but in an interesting way.
Yeah. Yes.
I can 100% listen to both these bands, and knowing that Scratch Acid is also from Austin makes sense now, especially with some of that early Big Boy stuff.
Yeah.
And knowing that also, I know members of Scratch Acid were in Jesus Lizard.
Yeah.
That also kind of makes sense too, being from Texas. And I think when you listen to these bands and think about like queer identities, gay identities, I mean, I don't know, like they aren't very upfront with it in a normal way. We were talking about how like the Dicks having the Little Boy's Feet song.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you
They
get in
tried to
trouble
do
for
that.
that now.
You get in trouble for that now, but
First off, I'm a young they is the first thing.
young
you
them.
understand.
but nowadays, actually, it's like more normal. Well, nowadays it'd be like a little pup's feet, and it'd be about being a furry.
Right. See that's
smelly feet.
That's even worse though.
Maybe worse.
That's no.
So ultimately, I mean, what are you guys' main takeaways from these their legacies? This isn't really a legacy of episode, but it kind
Not
of is.
really. Yeah.
It kind of is.
Kind of. Yeah. I mean, because we did go over most of their like recorded output.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both good. I'd say they were both good, creative. Like bands doing their own thing in a time period where, that was they stood out more than like a lot of their other
Contemporaries.
Yeah, they're like people probably just doing the generic like fast thrash thing, whereas like the Dicks, a little bit more bluesy.
Yep.
Good guitar work. Big Boys, way more like they're all over the place doing funk rock. Hardcore, like post-punk.
Yeah, I mean,
Indie
dude,
rock.
I was thinking about this. Like, how much was Mr. Bungle influenced by, like, Big Boys?
Probably. I'm
What's
sure
that song? Where do they go? We got a party.
Oh, that's Squeeze Me Macaroni.
Dude, how is that? That's a Big Boys.
That does sound like a Big Boys style
right?
thing, yeah.
Like,
we came to party.
we came
Yeah.
to party down your throat.
Yep, yeah, that's...
That's 100% like a Big Boys song.
Get those tits out, bitch!
I don't know, Jake, not a big Mr. Bungle fan?
No, I'm consulting my notes here about the last instance we have to cover. But no, I've never listened to them.
Really? Oh, man.
But I know enough about them to know that you're right that they were probably inspired by the Big Boys.
You should look up the demo. God damn it, I Love America. You might fuck with that a little bit.
Yeah, I think you told me that was good. I've heard that. That's good.
But before we wrap this up, what are your final thoughts on the band before we get into the incident, maybe?
About both bands,
bands,
really?
yeah.
I mean,
Both bands,
just fucking totally, like, Dick's just excellent top tier, like, American hardcore band. Big Boys, I do think you could hear, like, a far-reaching influence. And a lot of people cited them. I swear even, like, Albini shouted them out. Like, a lot of people have covered them. And, because they were so eclectic to start with, it's like a lot of stuff for different people to latch onto. And like, I don't know, I like that you can feel there's a lot of crazy descriptions of their live shows with them throwing stuff around. And like really with both bands, like, you know, you can feel that listening to them. Also, Big Boys, I'll note, are significant from the standpoint of like skate punk, something we haven't explored that much. None of us fucking skateboard, but like I think they were on one of those comps that Thrasher put out. If not, then like they are very much associated with. And you know what? If you listen to later skate punk stuff or like skate rock stuff that was classified that way, it is kind of more eclectic than normal American hardcore. There's like hard rock and funk and all those elements in the mix. And I think that could have been inspired by this band. The Tim Kerr interview, he talks about the Red Hot Chili Peppers a little bit. He notes that they were already trying to sound like James Brown when they played with them. So I think they kind of arrived at that independently. But yeah, no, both great bands that to me are like foundational kind of stuff from this era.
And we're bringing them back.
Gotta start pushing them to these fucking kids.
Yeah.
So we weren't sure if we were going to do this, but I think we want to do a rundown of the Bad Brains
versus Big Boys. The BB versus the BB.
The homophobia incident. I tried to figure out exactly when it happened and really had a hard time finding the exact date, but I know there was on Wikipedia and there was a citation from a book in the NBC
Probably
article.
American Hardcore.
No, it was a different. It wasn't that. It was
really?
Oh, yeah. It said it was in summer 1982. So I guess I'll give you like the just versions from one member of the band apiece, right?
Yep.
Again, Biscuit from Big Boys, openly gay. Rest of the band, not gay. Regardless, and there's an infamous story about supposedly Bad Brains telling them to burn in hell, blood clot, boops, etc. So there's an interview with Tim Kerr on his website, timkerr.net, where the version of the story that he tells basically is such as this. The Big Boys had set up a show in Austin for Bad Brains to play at. The plan was they were going to stay at Tim Kerr and his partner Beth's house. The door money mostly went to the Bad Brains because they were a touring band.
Yep.
When the show was over, HR complimented Biscuit on the show, but then also asked him if he was gay. Biscuit said, yes, I was gay. Bad Brains started freaking out about whatever, blood clot, blah, blah, blah. But this is where Tim Kerr makes a note here. He's like, this is the part people miss, is that like earlier that evening, prior to them playing, Biscuit it's funny on the website, it doesn't specify. He's like, Biscuit acquired something for HR at below cost earlier that evening and loaned him the money for it so that they could pay them back after they got paid. Obviously, he's talking about fucking weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And so that had happened. There was this, I guess, the blow up. He seems to say that it started at the show, but he's trying to keep the peace. They all go back to Tim Kerr and their house, and things were uncomfortable, he says, but he was looking at it like, all right, we don't agree with your beliefs, but we want you to be able to stay here and be comfortable, and it'll be okay. So they were staying there. But then the next day, while he was at work, and his partner had stayed home, I guess MDC came over to his house and basically started this whole thing over again because Dave Dichter from MDC is also gay and also very, very political. Big Boy's not really a political band, but MDC, they're like the one. So his partner called him at work, very upset, and by the time he got home, there was some kind of screaming match in his front yard with these, he said this, Bad Brains people, all of them except Earl, he says he was kind of hanging back. They're yelling about everything from women are supposed to be barefoot in the kitchen to blood clot, whatever, boops, and how all this religious stuff, whatever. His partner, he said, was crying, and he went out there and stopped the whole thing. MDC left. It took the Bad Brains a few hours to leave. He said he was still courteous to them, but they felt very drained. And then on his way out, HR handed this Beth lady like a thick sealed envelope addressed to Biscuit. They didn't open it. They, because they're like, this is for Biscuit. They don't know what it's about. But I guess it
was a turd.
Well, it was a note that said burn in hell, whatever. And also they noticed that around their house, apparently, this is just what he says, that they had defaced the Bad Brains, a historic poster that it was a, I don't know what was on it. I would assume some gay shit. It was the poster that got Raoul's shut down for like obscenity. I think there was some other stuff they had broken, and then they gave Biscuit the envelope, and they opened it, and it was empty. So that's Tim Kerr's version of events. He makes sure to point out, he's like, look, Biscuit being gay, like, he was very openly gay. Everybody knew it, but, like, it wasn't super, like, it wasn't a big issue. Like, he didn't, and in particular, something he denies here, he's like, look, the guy wasn't a saint, but he never did anything, like, bad, and he definitely didn't make a pass at HR. He makes it very clear that he says that did not happen. Now, I'm going to navigate over to
The bad brain side of things.
Yeah, let me see where they're at. This is a Pitchfork interview with Daryl Jennifer. How to summarize what he says, because he puts it kind of in very much in his own words. Yeah,
Like,
so he
literally
first
his
off,
own
he
word.
can play.
He's making up his own words.
He says that MDC was so up their ass that they considered getting an order of protection against them, but like,
jeez.
Against MDC?
yeah,
That's
which
real
I'm
punk.
sure MDC. I don't doubt that they were on their case about this. That was kind of their thing, but like,
I mean, honestly, if I was MDC, I would be fucking pissed because it's like you're gonna come into our fucking place,
yeah, I get it.
and be
Yeah.
fucking dicks to us when we fucking put on a
So
show for you.
I'll get into
Yeah.
his factual version of events, but
Okay.
in a second. But in the context of the interview, the point he's making is he thinks there's a racial angle to it, and then if Black Flag came there and called them all faggots, nobody would respond this way.
Okay.
I think in terms of what happened at the time, he's probably wrong about that. I think if Henry Rollins destroyed something at the big boy's house
Oh,
and
yeah,
said
they'd
they were
be
going to burn in
pissed.
hell
Yeah.
and stole their money, it would probably go about the same way.
I don't think. Yeah, it's like it's
Now, people since then talking about this, it would be very easy to talk about this in a racist way if you wanted to. But
Yeah, of
like,
course.
But like, you could say that about a lot of stuff.
It wasn't just like we don't like that you're gay. It was there's like layers to it.
Yeah.
Where it becomes just like come the fuck on, guys. But let's hear what.
So basically, what he's saying is that like, and he doesn't get into the level of detail Tim Kerr is, but he prefaces by saying like, listen, we were young Rastas, we're still figuring things out. All we know is what Ja tells us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he describes the big boys as frat boyish gay dudes, which only one of them was gay. Maybe he doesn't understand that. And he said it, quote, thinks it's cute. They don't have a sense of respect for whatever reason. They do provocative shit around us to try to get a reaction from us. And the reaction from us is I asked them if they get a bag of weed, $40 bag of weed. So they went and got the weed.
Now here's
yeah.
here's the thing, maybe to also put in perspective. Bad Brain's probably a little bit older than Big Boys.
Maybe. Although Big Boys, I was going to note this before. Big Boys, Tim Kerr specifies that like they got into punk when they were like in college.
Well, that's what when I mean a little bit older, I mean like literally like 1 or 2
Couple years, yeah, could
Which
be.
back then, the different like a 22-year-old and a 24-year-old
Yeah.
is kind of a big difference. Like there's a little bit of a difference there. Like it's significant, especially back then. Like a 19-year-old and a 21-year-old is like definitely different. Like similarly. So continue. I'm sorry.
So and then no, you're right. So his version of events is that quote HR got in a confrontation with one of the dudes from the Big Boys who tried to rub up on him or something, and HR said, "Fire burn." Josh says, "The way you're living, the lifestyle is not right. You have to circumcise your heart and your soul and your spirit. Get yourself right."
Circumcise your heart?
That's a new one.
Damn.
That's a new one.
Hey, broski, circumcise your heart.
According to him, quote, "Now we took the weed, left, and said, that's the way y'all treat us out here. We're out, gone. We're the bad brains. Now that turns into these boobs roll into town, steal our weed, call us fags." I guess we're saying that word, but not the other one. Maybe you'll bleep both of them.
Okay.
With a Bible in their hand, and they're homophobes and criminals. So he's kind of, at least in this, I think this is an 07 interview, Daryl Jennifer said that basically everything else I just read from Tim Kerr that was very detailed was, I guess, made up. I think I know which version of this I am more likely to believe.
Yeah.
And like, don't get me wrong. Now, mind you, I have not, and we don't have time right now. I bet if I went and looked up what MDC said about this in fanzines and shit, that I would be very skeptical of that.
Oh, I mean,
as
yeah,
well.
they'd probably be like, well, they
Yeah.
showed up wearing SS officer uniforms.
Yeah, or some shit, or be like they tried to kill me. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Tim Kerr,
They had a gun.
again, reading on my computer screen here, the shit Tim Kerr said sounds very reasonable and makes sense to me. It's a
Yeah.
version of events, especially since the thing he emphasized, he's like, yeah, the religious stuff, it was stupid, but like we were less upset about that than them like ripping us off for a bullshit petty $40 amount of weed money and also breaking stuff at our house. Like, that seems to be more his objection. So that's the story per a member of each band. This did, I'll say for the Bad Brains, like, this followed them around a lot, largely due to Maximum Rock and Roll and MDC. And I think you could maybe argue it was a little disproportionate. I'm not arguing that, but I certainly get why they would feel that way. But I don't know, like, but also, like, fuck, man, you really acted like an asshole. And almost, especially people talking about cancel culture or whatever now, like, by the same token, like, back then, it was such a close-knit scene that really, like, more so than now, relied on people being able to trust each other and do each other favors. Like, you're having people book shows for you who you've never met. You wrote a fucking letter to them or something, probably.
Called them via a number. You would just, I remember listening to Ray Capo on Youth of Today episode of Hard Lore talking about, like, just like, you would just call someone based on a rumor. I heard
Exactly.
this guy books shows. Okay, and maybe you would have a show. Maybe not. Who fucking knows? Like, that was all of the 80s.
So in that environment, I think it almost makes even more sense to make a big deal out of, like, leaving aside the homophobia part of it, somebody, like, fucking up your shit, and then on top of them, that being them religious freaks screaming at you. I get it. Like, it is a big deal. So I don't really think it's disproportionate. I get why they'd be frustrated. I think certainly, and this doesn't seem to be the case. Obviously, in the present day, nobody should be, like, not listening to Bad Brains because of this. But it's worth understanding, and I get why it was a problem, especially, like, in the context of, like, a world where gay people were much less accepted to start with.
Yeah.
And I think if I was them, I probably would want to, like, set very firm boundaries about, like, don't fucking come here and do this, you know? So that's the story as I know it. If anyone knows a different version of that story, we could do another gossip column here. We could do a whole I want to do a band in D.C., a Bad Brains documentary, which, as Tim Kerr notes, portrays this story, and it is different. It involves a claim that they gave him the money in the envelope with a note that said, "Thank you, the Bad Brains," instead of "Burn in hell, blood clot faggots." I don't know which one is real. We'll see. We'll revisit it, but let me know what you think happened and what you thought of this episode. We try to give a general overview of these two...
These warring factions.
And in the episode of these two queer-fronted bands that were, I think, got to be some of the first to really be loud and proud about that in the great state of Texas back in the day.
Yeah, I'm sure someone's going to go, actually, to which we say...
I didn't say there were no other ones, but get the fuck out of here.
Well, actually, you know what?
No, you should know which the actual first ones.
Actually, you should, you know what? Educate us. Here's the thing.
do it.
We love I love learning about new stuff.
That's facts.
And I think if more people had our foresight, or maybe not foresight, our acceptance of new information, and could take it upon themselves to take that and accept it in a fair and nice way, the world would be a better place.
Please,
and no one likes a snob, and we're not snobs, and you shouldn't.
We really aren't. No.
I always like to hear new shit. I always like to learn new stuff.
100%.
Please correct us, and you will promptly be ignored.
No, you won't be. You won't be.
I'm
No, we
just
love
fucking
you.
around.
We might not respond. We'll probably respond. We might not, but we will read it, and
I'm a little
will
bad at
recognize.
We will look at the comments.
We will look at it and go, wow, that's cool.
Wow,
and then
that's a
not respond.
comment.
So we'll see you next week.
Yes, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.